Early humans lived in groups, strength in numbers, safety in numbers. But one human learned that the group could also be dangerous. Hunger changed behavior. Conflict appeared when resources were low. Arguments broke out. Trust weakened. This human noticed patterns. The group followed instinct. Panic ruled decision-making. Mistakes multiplied. One morning, the human left the group, not out of fear, not out of pride, but observation. The forest was alive. Every step created sound. Every shadow moved. Every wind shift carried information. Walking alone allowed focus. No noise, no distraction, no competing instinct. Food had to be found carefully. No mistakes allowed. Water had to be located with attention. Shelter had to be chosen wisely. Predators watched. They were faster, stronger, hungry. The human learned to move without movement, to approach without sound, to breathe without notice. Hunting became strategy, not chance. The human followed animals, not chased blindly, studied paths, predicted movement, waited. Sometimes days passed with no reward. Hunger pressed. Patience became survival. A shadow appeared. A predator. The human froze. Not hiding, not running. Observing, the predator moved past. Confused, unable to attack, the human survived. Time passed. Skills sharpened. The human learned seasons. The change in wind, the shift in river flow, the migration of prey. Other humans observed from distance. Curiosity began. Respect grew. The group learned the power of caution. Sometimes observing, sometimes retreating, sometimes waiting. Movement became intentional. Hunting became calculated. Danger became a teacher. Children watched from the edges. They copied silently, mimicked attention, learned patience. The humans survived storms, floods, fires, cold, predators. And with each challenge, knowledge grew. Finally, the human returned to the group, not as outsider, but as teacher. The group adapted. Survival improved. Deaths decreased. Efficiency increased. The lesson was clear. Alone, humans could survive. But observation, patience, and understanding the environment were the true tools. Even today, explorers, hunters, survivors practice this lesson. Because deep inside, we remember a time when walking alone meant learning more than living together ever could. 6 million years ago, survival did not belong to the strongest. It belonged to the quietest. In a dense ancient land, early humans lived on the edge of disappearance. The world was louder than them, bigger than them, crueler than them. Children were born into danger, not into comfort. Crying was natural, but dangerous. Predators learned quickly. Sound meant food. At first, many children did not survive, not because they were weak, but because the world was listening. Mothers learned before anyone else. Fear sharpened their instincts. They pressed infants to their chests, rocked without sound, covered mouths gently, not to silence life, but to protect it. Slowly, something changed. Children began learning before understanding. They learned when eyes widened, when bodies froze, when breath slowed. Crying faded, not because pain disappeared, but because survival demanded control. The jungle did not forgive mistakes. Rain erased tracks, but also erased shelter. Floods arrived without warning. Sweeping away the weak, fire was rare, precious, temporary. Nights were endless. Darkness brought unseen movement. Glowing eyes, heavy breathing, sudden absence. Children watched adults react. They copied posture, copied silence, copied fear. Fear became inheritance. One season, food vanished. The jungle changed. Plants died. Animals migrated. Hunger returned stronger than before. Children learned to chew roots. Bitter, hard, almost poisonous. Adults tested everything first. Many became sick. Some never woke. Children observed. They remembered. Knowledge passed through loss. One child noticed patterns. Which plants killed, which healed, which fed. That child survived. Years passed. That child became adult and taught the next generation. Without words, through action. Pointing, waiting, watching. Survival became education. The jungle shaped them, bent them, but did not break them. Children stopped crying, not because they lost emotion, but because they learned control. This was not cruelty, it was adaptation. And that adaptation is why humans still exist, even today. When fear tightens the chest, when silence feels safer than sound, it is memory from a time when crying meant death and silence meant life. There came a season no one understood. The rain did not fall. The rivers shrank. The forest thinned. Hunger returned. Stronger, more patient. Early humans watched their land change. Green turned to brown. Life turned quiet. Animals disappeared. Not hunted. Not killed. Just gone. The humans stayed because leaving meant unknown death. Roots dried. Fruits vanished. Insects became rare. Bodies weakened. A strange sickness appeared. It started with heat, then shaking, then silence. Strong adults collapsed. Children survived longer, but suffered more. No wounds, no predators, just death. The group feared the air, the water, the ground. They moved camp, but the sickness followed. One elder noticed something. Those who ate from one area died faster. The soil there smelled different. The water tasted bitter. They avoided it. Some survived. Loss carved behavior. Food testing became ritual. One tasted first. Others waited. Sometimes the tester never woke. This was not cruelty. This was necessity. Fire burned weaker. Fuel was scarce. Nights grew colder. The group huddled together. Bodies sharing heat. Fear sharing breath. One night, a child died quietly. No cry, no struggle. The body was left away from camp. Not from disrespect, but protection. Predators came, but not to the living. The humans learned death attracted danger. Burial was not yet ritual. It was survival. As weeks passed, numbers fell, but knowledge grew. Avoid bad water. Avoid dying land. Move before hunger speaks. When rain finally returned, only a few remained. But those few were changed. They did not rejoice. They remembered. The season taught them the land could kill without teeth, without claws, and survival meant adaptation, not hope. That lesson stayed. Even today, when humans fear disease, fear poisoned water, fear invisible threats. It is ancient memory from a season that ate the living.